This is my spoiler-free review of Honkai Star Rail if it's still worth playing in patch 2.0 while making this video, 2024. First things first, this is just my summary of the game. And as somebody that said that I would never play this game when it was first announced, I was already playing Genshin Impact, been playing since day one, and had no room for another type of game like this, wasn't interested, and I was a little iffy about the combat. Honestly, after playing it for about 4 months now and very heavily the last couple months, I can say that this game is much better than I expected and it is definitely worth playing. And no, I'm not sponsored, these are just my honest thoughts. This is a game where I thought I really wanted to stay away from, but when I actually started playing it and gave it a try, it's not a game that you have to hyper invest in order to have fun with it. There's a lot of content to be played, but if you just want to play the meat and potatoes of it, or if you want something to pass the time, relax, sit down with and play while you're waiting for other games or other patches, it's a perfect game for that. It doesn't require hyper investment, but there's a lot of content to be played if you're having fun with it. And we're going to touch on all different aspects of this game: combat, story, the characters, quality of life, all that stuff. First things first, the combat. This is a tough one to talk about because I don't think there's anything wrong with the combat at all. It's fluent, you can speed it up if you want to just run through it quicker. It has very intricate and interesting team comps. There's elements in Honkai Star Rail, but you have different paths, and certain paths are strong against different shields. There's weaknesses and strengths. There's different characters that do damage, some that are support, healer, and you can build a wide variety of different teams that complement each other, and it's very intricate and interesting. As somebody that played Pokemon growing up in the 90s, turn-based combat was always fun to me, and mixing and matching different team comps that work well. So I find the combat extremely satisfying and fun. However, turn-based combat is not for everybody. And if you're somebody that likes to explore and just have the run of the place, get to use your character at its own free will much more, then maybe this wouldn't be the game for you. But if you're somebody that doesn't inherently hate turn-based combat, I definitely think it's worth giving a try. It sort of feels like button mashing until you really start to understand the combat and it sort of clicks. Then it becomes super satisfying and fun. It is extremely satisfying, and the characters' kits are extremely satisfying as well. Not to mention, you get a lot of free characters, and the 4 stars, the free-to-play characters that you get early on are all very good even late game. The main MC is insanely good and can switch different paths to have different strengths, kind of like the Traveler in Genshin Impact. March 7th is good for shielding. Dan Heng, great for damage. And my personal favorite, Natasha, who you get for free, who is an absolute unkillable juggernaut healer. Point being, you get a lot of essential characters, but you also get a lot of access to really good 5-star characters as well. You get a lot of free pulls, a lot of free stuff, much more free stuff than you get in Genshin, and you get a free 5-star of your choice of the standards after pulling on the standard banner 300 times. You'll probably get more than one before that even happens, and you get a lot of free currency and free pulls in this game. Every patch they give you new limited, and you earn a ton of standard pulls as well. So overall, the combat, extremely satisfying, worth giving a shot, but not for everyone. The story, super engaging. It took a little while to get me invested into it, but once I stuck with it, I found myself getting really attached to these characters. A general scope of the story is that you're in a space station. It gets attacked, you have to defend it, that's how you start the game, and you go from planet to planet, world to world, helping with their crisis, sort of like how you travel from nation to nation in Genshin. You have the Stellaron Hunters, are kind of like the Fatui Harbingers of space. You have the Astral Express and the crew who you work with. You have your veterans, and then you have your new rookie crew, and they go world to world helping people. You're going to meet a lot of interesting characters along the way, and the story is actually quite engaging. First planet you visit, Jarello 6. The story was excellent. I was engaged the whole way through. The stakes were high. The second planet you visit, the Xianzhou La Fu, not so much. It had its moments, but it was the most boring one so far for me. And then the one we're currently at, Penacony, is phenomenal so far. Much like Genshin though, there's a lot of side quests that are sort of just trivial, but I do find them to be not as long-winded as Genshin's are, so it is a little bit of a breath of fresh air if you need to power through some of these side quests that aren't necessarily the most interesting in dialogue and story. You can get through them pretty quickly. And as far as the characters go in terms of actual storytelling and lore, they're all pretty interesting. And as far as the limited characters go, as far as gameplay and story, they're all pretty interesting and very unique. They're very fun to use. There's a lot of them that I want to try at some point and pull for, and because they give a lot more free pulls in this game, you'll get your chance to get a lot more of them. Like, I already got 2 off just 10 pulls that I got for free. I haven't spent a dime on this game, but I got quite a few 5 stars already. And the roster is quite nice. There's no real characters that I say are duds or just terrible. And like I said, they give you a lot of good free characters anyway, so no characters are obligations to pull. Now, as far as the system and the quality of life, the music is near flawless, just like Genshin. They both have such good soundtracks. Not a single complaint in that department. Already touched on this, but the actual, like, how the devs treat you and the stuff that you get. I already got a free 5-star doctor ratio. I don't know if that's a limited time offer or not, but they gave us a free 5-star. They give a lot of pulls away. You are going to get a fair bit of currency in this game, especially with the events and everything that you do. You're going to get a lot of free stuff. At least for me, it felt. You can replay the events that you missed, which I'm currently doing to get more currency to save up for new characters. The way that you build characters is pretty similar to Genshin. You have like artifacts or relics that you can attach to them, level up their talents or their skills. The only thing that I found somewhat annoying is that instead of weapons, characters have light cones, which are these like cards that you get. They can be 3, 4, 5-star, just like a weapon, but I felt like they're just put there to deliberately add something else that you need to level up and build or pull on for a banner to make money. I guess it is in the business of making money, but it just felt like so unnecessary to have this. I know it gives you special abilities, you can refine them and level them up, but it just felt like such a cheesy way to add something else to pull on, and it's not like a weapon in Genshin where you actually see it and use it in the overworld. It's just a light cone, like it's just there. It's just something else that you have to use or equipped, or your character will be under-leveled. It's not the end of the world because there are a lot of free ones that you get along the way, but it's just something I found a little bit annoying. But besides that, the game feels really crisp and polished. The animations are very fluid, the cutscenes are good, the voice acting is really good. You'll be able to hear a lot of familiar voices either from Genshin or different animes if you watch a lot of different anime and stuff like that. And I like the little feature where it's futuristic, and I really like the menu. I like the texting feature. I think it's a really cool modern feel. Characters text back and forth. Sometimes it has something to do with the main story, or sometimes this is how you initiate a side quest. Or sometimes you just get in-game currency from having a text conversation with people, and I just thought it was a nice little touch. Overall, I do think it's a pretty fun game to try out. It's not a game that I felt I really needed to hyper-invest a lot of time into, especially if you're playing more than one gacha game. They can be pretty time-consuming, leveling up different materials and all the different things that you need. It can be pretty time-consuming. I don't feel that this one really requires you to do any of that if you don't want to, but if you are having fun with it, then there's lots to do. It's a great game to play while you're waiting for other games, or if you have nothing on the go at the moment. Definitely worth trying out. And it won't be for everybody, but that's just my honest opinion on playing this game for 4 or 5 months now, and I've been playing it quite a lot and I'm having fun with it. But let me know your thoughts in the comments if you've tried it, if you're thinking about trying it, or if you've just decided you're not going to. That totally understand that too. But hope you enjoyed the video. I will be incorporating Star Rail a little more in my channel, so hope you guys look forward to that. And as always, we will see you all in the next one. Later.